Let's cut the crap. If you're trying to bet the same way you have been doing for the last 2 or 3 years, you are fighting a losing battle. I'm Tony from Analyst, a full-time professional gambler, and today I'm going to tell you exactly the way it is in 2026. Let's face reality. The bonuses have shrunk, the margins are up, the limits are down, and they'll restrict you before you've even settled in. But here is the secret of professional gambling. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you will make. So let's go through the obstacles first, your challenges, because once we identify the problem, we can start fixing the issue. First of all is the margin squeeze. We have noticed over the past 2 years that bookmakers, sportsbooks have been increasing their margin, their juice, their vigorish. To be fair, in many jurisdictions, sportsbooks are being asked to absorb higher betting taxes, and the knock-on effect is bigger betting margins. For an example, if you turn the clock back 2 years, UK bookies used to be taking out 1.5% per runner in a horse race. Now they are taking nearer 2.5%. It's the same for tennis, football, basketball, NFL, you name it. Sportsbooks have increased their betting margins. In fact, in the US, data shows the net revenue margins for major operators have risen from 6.4 to 7.8% over the past year. And what about the bonus wars that defined the initial expansion of legalized betting? They've cooled down significantly. Operators are shifting from high-cost land grab acquisition to focusing on unit economics and increasing their average hold. In European jurisdictions, the standard bonus has leveled off to 50 to 100 euros or pounds, which in turn makes the actual value 40 to 50% of the nominal bet. Meaning what was once a 250 bonus is now down to 20 to 50 in real terms. While bonuses in North America remain nominally high compared to Europe, they have dropped significantly from the early peak. A few years ago, Caesars offered up to $1,500 in free bets. Now it's $250. Take it from me, the best time to catch a new bonus is when a sportsbook enters a new market or a new sportsbook is formed. Look, limitations and account closures have become absolutely ridiculous. The fact is, your account's going to get limited and banned faster than ever. In the old days, you could milk an account for weeks, maybe months. Nowadays, you're lucky to get past the 48-hour mark if you are value betting. At the end of the day, they don't want a fair fight. They want to identify you, limit you, and get rid of you before you cause any damage. And what about in betting shops where they're actually trying to kill cash betting and force you to bet by debit cards? Why are they doing this? It's not for your convenience, it's a digital leash. In 2026, the bookie wants to know your identity, your spending habits, your location before you've even made a bet. Long term, if you can't bet anonymously, you can't bet professionally. It's as simple as that. And the biggest con ever are these affordability checks. This is the big one in the UK, and you might not know it, but it also applies in many other countries. In short, they've turned affordability checks into a data harvesting machine. If you're a winner, they'll use your bank statement as a reason to show you the door. And even when you do win, getting paid is a battle. We also need to cover the multi-counting myth. Don't think you can just use your cousin's name on your own Wi-Fi or from the same device. Between device fingerprinting and linked bank data, the local game is a minefield. If you aren't treating your tech like a cybersecurity firm, you are already linked, tracked and trapped. Now 99% of people simply see this and they quit. They might complain on X, but they simply give up. I say good, let them. Because while they're staring at the wall, we are looking at the door. Now is a good time to share with you how the 1% are making their money from sports betting in 2026. So I think it's fair to suggest that if you are profiting from sports betting, then the chances are that you are doing this through value betting. You know, you are running with a software or tracking the betting markets and just betting when the odds are in your favor. Now, if you're doing this, obviously that's what the sports books are looking for. So we need to try to find the best solution to getting as much out of them as possible. And one way you can do this is bet late in the day, you know, just before the start of a game, within the sort of 15-minute run up. The reason for this is quite simple, right? Sports books, the soft sports books, don't have time to necessarily change the odds or the inclination because they're getting loads of bets coming in from a load of different casual punters. So if you are betting also near the start, the chances are that those odds will remain until the game kicks off, and then that will be their CLV, their closing line value, you know, the one odds that you don't want to be beating. But in the meantime, you are still beating the betting exchange odds, you're still beating the sharp sports books odds, and the limits at this stage are at their absolute highest because that's when the volumes start rolling in. So these are the types of things that you've got to take on board. You know, you really got to try to get as much out of those accounts as possible, and hitting them very late in the day, that's a great move if you really want to get a maximum out of a betting account. Now, depending on which country you're from, you know, what availability there is, I would definitely suggest also focusing on the betting shops when it's feasible. Now, the thing is with UK betting shops, for example, they use like terminals. And if you're betting with a terminal, that's a great way to sort of get around that confrontation at the counter. You know, you don't want the person at the counter always clocking your bets. Now, traditionally speaking, on the betting terminals themselves, the stakes are slightly lower. And also there are other issues, you know, they don't offer every type of bet and on the terminal itself, right? So, you know, bear that in mind. But the great thing is, if you're betting on the terminal, you can sit there, open your mobile telephone, and you can literally track Betfair or any sharp bets that you are getting imported to you and actually place them on the terminal without the counter person knowing. And if you do notice, by the way, that while you are placing bets that the stakes actually start to decrease, you know, the limits, right, then you might just want to go and find another terminal or move to another betting shop because it might mean that you have been clogged. So betting terminals are a great way to get money down. So that's one thing. And if you are betting on the terminals, one thing I would definitely suggest to you is focus on things like greyhound racing, you know, low liquidity stuff, right? Because the actual bookmaker is scared to actually follow the odds on Betfair for the reason it could be easily manipulated as well. You know, if I wanted to make one long, I could go onto Betfair, give bigger odds, and then they would hopefully track it, and then I could actually bet it at inflated odds. So the actual sports books, the bookies know this, so that's why they tend to sort of keep their own odds. You know, they bet in 130%, but they still get it very, very wrong. And sometimes, you know, you're picking up 2 or 3 times the actual real price. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube. You can actually see how that works. And it's also the same with foreign racing. You know, the liquidity is much lower than with the local racing. UK racing, you probably got $500,000 in a pool. US racing on Betfair and on the exchanges, it's going to be a lot lower. It's probably going to be in the vicinity of maybe, you know, 30 or 40,000. So again, the sports book are not going to be influenced by those odds. They're going to be creating their own odds and sort of sticking with them. But they do make a lot of mistakes, and if you start getting really close to the start, you know, within the last sort of 30 seconds, that's when the major movements coming in. That's when people are dumping the money down on the track. You know, those totalizator odds are changing, and that's when you can beat the system. So, you know, foreign racing, going in a little bit in the evenings or something like that, and especially dog racing, that really works a wonder. A lot of people are making a lot of money. Can you or somebody you know provide account services in Canada, Australia or Finland? If so, please get in touch with us over the website at bettinganalyst.com. Now, I would suggest that you keep up with the market evolution. Just for example, the prediction markets. You've all heard of Polymarket. Now, you know, in a lot of countries in Europe, I'm afraid it's banned. You can't get it openly. In the US, obviously, it's a big thing. You know, it's all illegal over there. And also in loads of other jurisdictions. It really depends where you are. You know, it is a bit of a postcode lottery. Now, if you can get to Polymarket, then I would definitely suggest that you check it out, because First of all, you've got higher liquidity than the betting exchanges. You've got a lower commission rates than the betting exchanges. You are loading your money by crypto, and when your bet has won, you can literally take your money out straight away. There's none of this pouncing around like you do with the betting exchanges, and all this big scrutiny going on. In the US, it is regulated. In other countries, it's not regulated. So Polymarket, it's got a two-way system in that respect. But the point of the exercise is that you can get in there with very low commissions, and there is some amazing odds to be found. There's a lot more than Polymarket out there. There's other competitors coming along. These prediction markets, they're very important if you really want to get into sports betting. They give you a different angle, and especially if you like us, an eye roll as such. Now, I'd also like to mention the tool revolution. When I first started betting, there was no tools available. Believe me, you have to find the bets yourself. If you are this value better, there is so many tools out there to really get you into the process of profiting from sports betting and making the bookmaker's life hell, right? You can win just by subscribing to a simple software. Like I say, they're competing against each other, and it would cost you actually hundreds of thousands to write the software for yourself, right? So just paying a small subscription fee, $100, $200, maybe $500, depending on what it is, what markets or what you're trying to achieve. And on this section, I just want to catch up with the tech firewall. If you are multi-accounting, right, you need that safety net. Do not be betting from the same device. Do not be betting from the same IP with each account. You need a different one for each set of accounts. I think that's pretty obvious, right? If you want ways to circumvent the bookmakers detecting you, because that's what it's all about nowadays. All they're doing is they're just looking for these multi-accounters, right? And you can get around it. You can use things like proxy dies. You can use multi-login. You can use mobile telephones. Just have a burner, so they can't see the device. Just go and buy a new one and then sell it off afterwards, after you sort of hit 50 or 60 different bookmakers with it, whatever your choice. But make sure that you protect yourself. Put yourself a little bit of a firewall between yourself and the sports books, and then I'm sure you're going to be a lot more successful and get more out of the game. Now, here's the thing: if governments want to put up betting borders, you can easily kick them down. If you can network properly, you've got a big network all around the world, then you've literally got access to every betting market. There's ways of striking partnerships, there's ways of legalizing yourself, making sure that you stay ahead of the game. Now, the most important thing is, if you are networking, right, make sure you start looking at those countries where you can get the best accounts from. That's what I would suggest. Even in the UK, for example, even though it's all very much stricter nowadays, there's still over 200 sports books online, right? If you took 100 from each of them, it would still be 20,000, wouldn't it, right? So, you can see where I'm going with this. There's always potential within your own market, but look further afield. It's quite simple. Irish accounts, Canadian accounts, Australian accounts, they're all much better than what you get in maybe on your own territory. You've got to try to look a bit further afield if you really want to get the big value. You've got options maybe to crypto bookmakers who are a little bit slower. You've got the offshore bookmakers, you've got the Asian bookmakers, you've got the brokers, you've got all these different services if you can get access to them. But just make sure that you do it by the book, stay ahead of the game. So if you can find somebody in another country where you can partner up with, that will make your life much easier. So I'd simply like to close with, don't be fobbed off, right? Don't just accept the situation. Don't just think to yourself, in your country it's become more difficult, so so you should be stopping what you're doing. The point of the exercise is, if you immerse yourself in this business, you look at people like the Blooms, like the Benhams, and there is thousands of other people like these have actually made multi-millions out of sports betting, and in some cases billions. So the potential is there. You've just got to take action. That's the most important thing in this game. You might want to sign up to our newsletter, because that's going to help you understand more about professional sports betting. Also, subscribe to this channel, because this is what we're going to be focusing on. We're going to try to get you ahead of the game, try to get you into winning at sports betting consistently, right? So if you follow us, I'm sure it's going to do yourself a favor, do us a favor, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. See you in the next one soon. Take care. Bye-bye.